Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Azka Nursyaban. My student's number is 232212016, and I'm majoring in English education, and I would like to present my critical reflection for the final examination of the CDA course. So the key topics covered in the CDA course are the four approaches to CDA, namely the Van Dyke approach, the Fairclough approach, the Bodek approach, and the Van Leeuwen approach. And the significance of CDA in understanding language and power relations is that CDA can be a tool to uncover meanings and influences of text at a deeper level in order to find out how these texts contribute to shaping society's perspective of issues. And for my learning experiences, the instructor provided the class with different articles for each approach to CDA to help the class in understanding and guided us, the students, in doing text analysis and group discussions on these articles. The instructor always encouraged us to state our opinions on issues being discussed. In my group discussions, I learned to speak my mind freely to my peers about the issues being discussed, and I made sure that my peers had the same chance to speak, and I learned to be open to others' opinions as well because I found out that that is the only way a group discussion can run smoothly. And my group had to analyze the news text for a project, and I was able to contribute in helping the group draw a conclusion on which side of the issues the other was on. And we learned together to read the news text comprehensively in order to gain a deeper understanding, and my peers and I remind each other to be aware of the currently trending issues around us, especially in education issues. As for my personal reflection, I learned how powerful a text can be to a society. Before the CDA course, I used to think that it wasn't really important to share our interpretations of meanings in the text to others. But now I learned that words hold power. So through a discourse, an impact as big as influencing or changing people's opinions and perspectives can be made. This is a reminder for me to be mindful of my words because there are possibilities of how people would interpret my words into an idea that would impact me or people around me. And then the challenge I faced was keeping myself consistent while reading. In order to properly interpret meanings in a text, I need to read the text thoroughly and comprehensively. However, sometimes I get distracted while reading. To overcome this, I would push myself and remind myself of how important every word in the text is to my understanding of the issue because one mistake in understanding a sentence can be fatal in an attempt to interpret the whole meaning of a text. So, therefore, I need to be attentive. As for the implications for teaching, so the discussions I had in the CDA course helped me raise my awareness, and I learned that it is important to have this awareness as someone whose goal is to be a teacher in the future. So as a future teacher, I want to be open to my students' opinions, and I want to teach and guide them on how to properly speak up and state their opinions in critical and respectful ways, whether it's in a real life situation or online in social media platforms. I want to guide them to make good use of these social media platforms to raise and spread awareness of various issues as well, especially in social and education issues. So, in conclusion, in the CDA course, I learned how discourses work. I learned that in order to understand a text, a critical and thorough way of thinking in CDA to uncover meanings of the text is needed. In this course, I have learned to engage in discussions with my peers where we can learn together and share our opinions on various issues. I faced a challenge in keeping consistent and focused while reading, but I could push myself to pay attention to details in text. And as a future teacher, I want to be open to my students' opinions and to teach and guide my students to speak up properly and to make good use of social media platforms to raise awareness of trending issues. And that was my critical reflection on my learning experiences in the CDA course. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.